What's going on, guys? It's your buddy Aaron. Welcome back to another video, of course on the G35, and of course we're working on the engine again. Today we're going to be working on the timing cover. We're going to be working on getting the timing cover off, and as well as getting all the components such as the timing chain, the guides, all the tensioners. We're going to make sure that those are out, and then we're going to get ready to put our new stuff in. Hope you guys are enjoying this little series so far. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This is the current state of the engine right now. I just got it backed up. I did this morning get the spark plugs out, so there are no spark plugs in all of the tubes. The goal for today's video is to pretty much take everything off when it comes to the front cover. So of course these VTC covers, these peak holes, and then of course the front cover itself. This is already loose because we broke that in the last video, which was a pain in the butt to get to, but we did it. So I'm gonna be able to take the crankshaft off as well, but I'm leaving it on there just so that I can turn the engine, because we're gonna have to get it to top dead center, which is when piston number 1 is all the way at the top dead center. By the way, guys, if you aren't following me on Instagram, you wouldn't know that there is a 20% off coupon right now on the G35 merch. Go ahead over to DoubleASupply.com, check out the merch we got. We got some hoodies, t-shirts, all these nice ass jet tags. These are freaking awesome. Some decals and air fresheners for you guys. Everything is 20% off with the code OG20. So if you guys are following me on Instagram at G35, you guys would know that I am already running that coupon. So if not, you guys know now. Go ahead over to DoubleASupply.com and get some G35 merch for the low. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into removing this timing cover. So I went over to my ex job over at the Toyota dealership. I went ahead and picked up some Toyota OEM Fippage. They call it FIPG. It's really just their sealant. It's actually really good. Toyota makes one of the best sealants, so I'm going to be using that for the application when we are resealing the timing cover, you know, the lower oil pan, upper oil pan, all that good stuff. But for now, it's just disassembly, so let's get started. There's a bunch of 10mm bolts around holding these VTC covers on, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those first. Alright, so the VTC covers are off. Now we're going to work on these little windows right here. Oh shit. So I got lucky on that one. I was able to get some leverage underneath it. On this one, I have no idea how I'm going to get that off. Spot right here I can get under, so I have to put something right here to give me leverage to... Oh, I got it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take off this this thermostat now. Oh. So that's the old thermostat. I have a new one, so we're going to be replacing it, so I'm just going to toss this one. Same thing with the gasket. Alright, so now I'm going to take off all the 10mm that are around here for the timing cover. Then I think we got a few 17mm bolts to get after that, and then it's coming off. I got two 12mm bolts on the bottom that I'm going to hit with the gun. I got the three 17mm bolts that I'm going to go ahead and hit with the gun as well. If you guys are also doing this at home, make sure you get the upper oil pan bolts that are holding the front cover in place. They're actually on the bottom side of it, inside the upper oil pan. Since I removed the upper oil pan already, I don't have to get those. Alright guys, so what you're looking at right now is pretty much the side of the front cover, the timing cover. I'm going to try and use this screwdriver. It's really recommended to use a pry bar, but this is all I have right now. So I'm going to try and use this to pretty much pry and break the seal between these 2 points right here. Oh. Wow, well that was pretty easy. You gotta go ahead and like drop a screwdriver in place to keep that gap open, and then go over to the other side. Over here on this side, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Ah, fuck. Try not to punch your engine. Coming out right now, pretty much. So stringy, look at that. Look at that, 3 feet, boy. And there you have it, guys. We got our timing cover off. This front timing cover does have the front main seal, which we will be changing, so I'll be showing you guys that when we clean this up and replace that seal. And by clean up, I mean we're gonna have to remove all of this red RTV that is on here. So here we have our timing chain. Now, it is very possible that this has been done on this engine before, only because I'm not sure if Nissan uses red RTV at factory. So anyway, we're gonna have to clean up all that red RTV. So right now, before we do anything, we're gonna have to put the engine in top dead center. I'm gonna go ahead and put the crankshaft back on. This way we can turn it a little bit. All right, so I just did a quick Google search and YouTube search, and now I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding, I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, pretty much if you go ahead and turn the crank and go ahead and put your hand on top of that spark plug tube where cylinder number 1 is, and if you start turning the crank just a little bit, you can go ahead and let go, and you're gonna hear that air escaping because there is compression being built up. When you feel that compression there, that's how you know you're on your compression stroke. So you want to be on your compression stroke and get to top dead center. There is a couple of markings that we can look for, like this line right here on top of the cam sprockets, and that line right there. And the other line is going to be on the crank sprocket. So I'm going to go ahead and try to line up this line right here with the little white mark. It's kind of hard to see, but with the line that's on the timing chain cover itself. Now keep in mind, you may have this one lined up down here, but then if the top 2 markings are not facing upwards, then you are not at top dead center. They may be facing downward. You may have to come another 360 to make sure that they are facing upward so that you are at top dead center. So both of my cam sprocket markings are facing upward, and so is my crankshaft sprocket is also lined up with that marking on the back plate. So now we are at top dead center on compression stroke cylinder 1, and now we can go ahead and start removing the timing chain and the tensioners and the guides and all that good stuff. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is start removing the guides here and all the tensioners. So I'm going to start with the top, and I'm going to work my way down towards the right, up around the bottom, and then back up to the top again. Oh shit, what did I do? I don't know if you guys can see the bottom guide right here just hanging down. There's a little Allen key that I'm gonna have to put in there, unscrew it, and then that last one will come out. So that's it guys, that's our old chain. Good old crankshaft sprocket. Each set of cams has its own tensioner for the chain. So you're gonna have to push down on the tensioner. You can do it with your hands. And there's literally a really small hole where you can put a paper clip. In this case, I'm just using this like little aluminum wire. Pretty much the same thing though. You can put a paper clip inside there and it'll hold the tensioner down. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here on this side. So you're gonna go ahead and push the tensioner in with your finger to release the tension. Somewhere on this part, close to the tensioner where you're pushing, there's gonna be a little pinhole there that you can put the paper clip in. Alright guys, now that I have the tension released on both of the tensioners for the cam gear sprocket chains, what I'm gonna do now is break these 17mm bolts loose by using a 17mm impact, and then I'm gonna be using a flat wrench to hold the cam gear in place. Alright guys, you're for sure going to want to put the paper clips in on the tensioners after you buzz these off, because they're just going to fall right off anyway. So I got all the bolts loose for the cam gears. Alright guys, I'm just going to go ahead and remove these camshaft sprockets now. Nice. Alright guys, so now I'm just going to go ahead and take off the water pump. OG water pump. Alright guys, so the final thing I'm going to do in this video is remove this piece. I'm not even sure exactly what it's called, but it's on the rear timing cover over here also attaching to the valve cover. It pretty much has its own seal up against the camshaft cover and the timing cover rear spot right here. It's secured by a bunch of 10mm bolts. Some are inside the timing cover, some are outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off, break the seal on that, and then I think I won't have to remove the rear timing cover in order to take out the camshafts. So we'll see. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this actually does give us access to remove the cams without having to remove the rear timing cover, so that's awesome. I can also remove these tensioners right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the other side right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and clean off all the RTV off the cover and everything. Check it out, guys. The progress that we're making on this engine build is kind of slow for me, even though you guys are getting all these uploads like crazy. It's because I've been saving up these videos trying to release them all for you guys. But yeah, check it out, guys. It is coming along for sure. We have access to the cams, so in the next video, hopefully we're going to be removing those cams, and then we're going to get to the lifters and the valve seals and the springs, and that's pretty much as far as we are going to go as far as the engine. We're not going to go into the block or anything like that. We're already so far in it. I'm pretty sure the compression is good. The engine was running super healthy before the accident. So I'm kind of just going to wing it. We're going to slap it all together. But taking a look at the state that it's in right now, definitely making some progress. We got the whole timing kit off with all of the guys' tensioners and everything. We're just going to go ahead and remove these two tensioners. I think I got them in the new Cloys package, which is somewhere over there, that I'll be showing you guys when we're installing the whole timing kit and redoing the timing and all that good stuff. Right now I gotta go ahead and clean off all of the excess RTV off of the engine and the timing cover and everything like that. Once I do that, we're gonna go ahead and pop in the front seal. So we're gonna do that in about a second, because you guys don't want to see all that boring removal of RTV. Come on. Okay, on second thought, this is actually kind of interesting. So I'm actually using my Dremel. I noticed that I had a little spinny metal wheel in there that I can use as an attachment. And when I start it up, I could actually use the wheel to take off all of the RTV. Okay, so that was a bad job, but you guys get the point. I'm gonna go ahead and use this wheel to take off most of the RTV off of the flange here, so it cleans it up real nice. But yeah, nice little tip right there. All right, guys, so it was a super long, tedious process. It's now dark outside, but check it out. The flanges, for the most part, are cleaned up inside of all of the little mini channels that are super annoying to get to. I pretty much used the rest of my little wheel here on the Dremel to take care of all of those channels on the timing chain cover, as well as the rear timing chain cover. All the flanges are looking really good. Same thing with the valve cover. Everything is looking perfect, nice and cleaned up. So the annoying part is finished up. So now with this front cover, what I'm trying to do is remove that crankshaft seal. I don't really see any forums on Google or too many videos on YouTube. There's a couple different ways, interesting ways that people got these things out. So I'm just gonna try and do my best and not damage the aluminum that's around it, because once you scuff that, you can't really repair it, and it can cause leaking. So I'm gonna try and be really careful removing this seal right here. Alright guys, so I totally got the seal off camera, but here's what I did. So I pretty much, instead of having it on my fucking washing machine, I put it on the floor, you know, an actual sturdy area. I took the flathead screwdriver and I put it in a sturdy, hard part of the seal towards the edge, and then I went ahead and just hit it with a hammer and it knocked it right out. So this is our old crank seal. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean off the area and figure out how to press in the new one. Alright guys, so before we put on this new seal, we're gonna have to put some grease on it. I'm gonna run over to the parts store right now, grab the grease, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish up this job in this video. Alright guys, I went ahead and picked up some Valvoline high temperature red grease that we're gonna use on this seal right here. The grease is gonna help us press this into place a little bit easier, and as well as help create a good gasket seal. That's a lot on my finger. Let me Let me relax. Okay, it's going in pretty easy so far. So I heard a good method is to put the old seal on top of it, and you can start. And what you would do is pretty much hammer it in place, but since it'll make a lot of fucking noise over here, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the floor. But just give it a couple taps around. You could also use like a little wooden block to tap around to make sure that it's nice and even all around. And there we have our new crank seal. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Hope you guys are having fun with this, with the whole build, with the progress that we're doing on the engine and what we did today with the timing kit so far. Still some more disassembly to go in the next video. Hopefully we're going to be removing the cams, and then I also want to see if I can get into showing you guys how to replace these spark plug tube seals inside of the valve covers. I was able to remove the tube seals in here, but now I got to figure out a way to get the new ones into the valve cover, because they're supposedly, you know, unserviceable, and they really are unserviceable. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I ordered a tool to help me get the new seals in, so I'm going to be making a video to show you guys how to replace the spark plug tube seals, which tend to leak sometimes over like 120,000 miles in these cars typically. But that's as far as it goes for disassembling the timing cover. If you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button, and if you guys are not following along with the G35 content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along for some more, because once this build is done, it's going to be awesome. Make sure you head over to DoubleASupply, pick up some G35 merch, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.